2020, and his advisors later considered using the Pentagon to seize voting machines following his election loss. And now the Republican frontrunner is threatening to deploy the National Guard to crack down on crime in primary blue states, and also if he takes back the White House. Listen.
The next time, I'm not waiting. One of the things I did was let them run it, and we're going to show how bad a job they do. Well, we did that. We don't have to wait any longer. We got to get crime out of our cities.
Joining us now is Tom Nichols, staff writer for The Atlantic. We should note your piece is one of so many. The entire edition of The Atlantic is dedicated to the danger of a future Trump presidency. Tom, help us decipher the rhetoric versus the reality here when it comes specifically to the military.
Trump makes a great show of venerating the military in public. He talks about, how much he loves the military and talks about his generals when, in fact, he actually has a deep disrespect for the military, as I point out in the piece. This is a guy who referred to America's war dead as losers and suckers, and doesn't really understand, as John Kelly, of course, our Marine general, as John Kelly later said, doesn't understand anyone who has served their country honorably. What he does understand is the pomp and the parades and the salutes and sir, and he wants to use that force as his personal muscle. We know this isn't hypothetical. And I think one of the things to point out about all of the articles in this special issue of The Atlantic is that these were carefully written and fact-checked articles based heavily upon what Trump's said and done already. So the distance between his rhetoric and his actions when it comes to the military or anything else is getting really vanishingly small, considering that he has already tried to do a lot of the things that we talk about. He's already tried to use the U.S. military against its own citizens. He's talked about how he wishes that America's generals were as loyal to him as the Wehrmacht's officers were to Hitler. He really isn't kidding. As my colleague David Graham points out, he's not bluffing. And there are plans to gut any of the civilian civil service guardrails that are inside the Defense Department and the Justice Department and the rest of the government. So in tandem, these are really dangerous things. And I think he's quite serious about not making the same mistake.